Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dugout Daily. I'm Charlie, and I'm joined by Bernard again. How are you, mate?
I'm absolutely fine, Charlie. Yeah, I've recovered now. Ready for the next game. But we're going to talk about an interesting game today, aren't we?
We are. We'll get straight to it then. City 2, Liverpool 2, with De Bruyne and Jesus scoring for City, Jota and Mane scoring for Liverpool. What was your thoughts on the game, Bernard?
Yeah, I think most City fans think it was a missed opportunity, wasn't it, to be 4 points ahead. Whether Liverpool could have raised their game if we had gone ahead, I don't know. If we'd gone 3-2 up, whether they would have come back again. Possibly, they seemed capable of doing it when they had to. But I thought they seemed quite happy with the draw in the end. I thought they were playing for a draw, or we were that good. They couldn't do that much against us, but say they're a bit more clinical than us, aren't they? Obviously, we'll look at the stats in a bit, but obviously they could do more with their half of the chances we had. But we knew that anyway. We knew it's no big surprise, mate, was it? It was no big surprise that they'd be more clinical than we would. So a missed opportunity, but I think most City fans at the start of the game would have been happy with a draw. And obviously we got a draw, so we got to be happy it's in our own hands again, which Liverpool can't say that, can they? So that's the positive from it.
No, they can't say that, definitely. Big up Chelsea fan in the chat. He says City were the better team. I'll agree with that. We just didn't take our chances that we got, to be honest. We'll look at the team that started then. So it was Edison in goal, Walker, Stones, Laporte, and Cancelo with De Bruyne, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva, Sterling, Jesus, and Foden as the front three. What was your thoughts on the City team, Bernard?
Yeah, well, I was a bit surprised about Sterling and Jesus, but then I wasn't because obviously the tactics we employed was to get behind him, and obviously we do lack a little bit of pace. Obviously, if Mahrez plays, we lack he hasn't got the pace to get him behind particularly, so it didn't really surprise me that Sterling and Jesus because we give us that edge. The fact that they couldn't, obviously one of the guys perhaps had a couple of good opportunities and didn't do it is by the by. We got in behind him. On another day, perhaps those goals would come in and not be offside, etc. But so I thought Pep played a master stroke again. I thought it was a very good selection from him with the tactics we used. I think he say himself we played a bit more of the Liverpool tactics than our own. I think he said that himself, and I think it worked. We'll probably play a similar thing the next time we meet them because it worked pretty well. I say we'd been a bit clever in front of goal, we would have won the game.
100%. And the Liverpool team looks like this. It was Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson, with Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago in the middle, Salah, Jota and Mane as the front three. What was your thoughts on the Liverpool team, Bernard?
Yeah, they've got a wealth of riches, mate, haven't they? Really, I mean, they say about our squad, but when they're all fully fit, which they are, they don't have any injury problems. Of course, I mean, Firmino got a bit of a cut head into the other day, but it didn't stop him being on the bench and playing. And I wouldn't have minded seeing that other guy that they're raving about. I didn't really want to see him if he was any good, but that is it. Luis
Diaz,
Diaz. I wouldn't have minded seeing him. Obviously, he came on for 20 minutes, but I didn't really notice, and because I don't think Liverpool did that much the last 20 minutes of the game. But yeah, more or less. But they are in a good position. They probably had about 4 or 5 players on the bench that would probably a lot of time getting their team as well. So it was possibly more or less what most fans expected. But as I say, Klopp's got a wealth of talent now. He can probably swap that around a little bit more like Pep used to do a year or two ago.
Yeah. The stats then from this game looks like this: 11 shots to 6, 5 shots on target to 4, 56% possession to 44%, 566 passes to 468, 85% accurate passes to 80%, 9 fouls to 11, 1 yellow card to 4, no red cards for either side, 5 offsides to 2, and 4 corners to 1. Do you think those stats fairly represent the game, Bernard?
Yeah, I think they do. I think we say Liverpool sort of came in for it for. I mean, we'll see the sort of breakdown, I assume, in a moment. But I mean, really, Liverpool never really got control of the game that they can do. They certainly did last year at the Etihad, and we've seen them do it many times at the Etihad, where they sort of control the game and were sort of chasing around for a little bit. But we never really allowed them to do that, apart from when they got the. I think when they scored that equalising goal in the second half, I think they took a little bit of control, but I think we thoroughly controlled it all the game, and you can tell from those stats. And 4 yellow cards, I mean, they probably could have had a lot more than that if Mr. Taylor had performed a little bit better. But no, I think it reflects the fact that we had more of the game. All right, we didn't pummel the goal, did we? But obviously, say we're playing a good team, so we're probably not going to do that anyway. But yeah, I think that's a fair reflection on what should have been a victory overall, but obviously it wasn't.
Yeah. And the attack momentum looks like this. Both teams having periods, of course. It looks definitely in the first half we should have been ahead more than one goal, to be honest. The second half, Liverpool came more into it, but we were still on top, it looks like, in the stats. So, was it disappointing to only come away with a point for you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was, but it's not a surprise unless it all bases on the facts like the United game. If we take our chances, we'll win well. If we don't take our chances, we might scrape a goal win or a goal margin win, or we'll draw, and that's how it panned out. We could have took. We were a bit unlucky in a couple, obviously, with the VAR stuff like that, but. Yeah, if we took our chances, we would have won. It certainly could have been 3-1 at half time. But as I said, if we had sort of took that lead, there's nothing to say Liverpool wouldn't have come back into it a little bit more. Like, they just seemed happy enough once it equalised to sort of just play along and see what happens. So, but yeah, we should have really done a little bit better, but hey, it's not unusual. I say we don't, it's not as though we're talking anything scientific. The old, we need a striker thing. Yeah, we need a more clinical striker up front, but we've needed that all season, so no change with that.
Yeah. So we go to the players then, starting with the keeper, of course, Edison. His stats look like this: 2 saves, 1 out of 1 successful run out, 1 save from inside the box, 50 touches, 86% accurate passes, 2 out of 7 accurate long balls as well. Thoughts on Edison's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, well, apart from him testing out goal line technology, which I think he did, just to see if it was working. I was, yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's blamed him for that first goal. I think I blamed him a little bit because I thought the way it went under him. I thought he could have saved it with his foot. I thought sometimes you don't have to dive as a goalkeeper. Sometimes you just stick a foot out. And all right, it might bounce straight back to a Liverpool player, but that's what you do as a goalkeeper. So I was a little bit disappointed that it just sort of went under him. And if he's going to dive, he didn't react quick enough. And I'm not going to blame him for that because the guy took it well. But what's wrong with just sticking a foot out as a goalkeeper? That's what I wasn't to his level, of course. But I mean, I wasn't averse to sticking a leg out and booting it clear, as well as saving it with your hands. So. I do blame a little bit for that first goal, and not many people are. So I'm perhaps being a bit critical. So, but distribution-wise, I didn't think it was that great. I think their equaliser came from the fact he just punted it up to Alisson. I think at the start of the second half, and then we obviously from that they actually scored a goal. It wasn't his fault, but his distribution didn't seem quite at it yesterday. So of all the City players, and I thought City as a team played magnificently overall, I thought he was our worst player on the day.
Yeah, definitely. So right back then, Kyle Walker, his stats look like this. 1 clearance, 3 interceptions, 1 tackle, 3 out of 6 ground duels were won, 1 out of 1 aerial duels were won, 16 times he lost possession, 2 fouls, he was fouled once, 75 touches, 81% accurate passes, none out of 2 accurate crosses, 6 out of 11 accurate long balls, and 1 out of 2 successful dribble attempts. Thoughts on Walker's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, I thought he played well. I think there was one moment in the first half where he was literally sprinted over to cover the left back option when Liverpool had a chance, which sticks in my mind. I thought, bloody hell, how did he get across there? Because he sort of just wellied it across. But I thought he played well. His limitations are there to be seen going forward. You can't, when he gets it on the right wing, you never think a goal's going to come. That's that's just how it is. But defensively and overall, yeah, total commitment. He had a good game.
Yeah. Big up Doug in the chat. He says, before the game, I predicted 2-2. I would have took a draw before the game had even begun. You should have been 3 or 4-1 up at half-time. Fabinho and Thiago, very fortunate to be on the pitch. He also said, but getting that equaliser straight after half-time was so crucial. It was just, at half-time, we were saying, keep it quiet for 10
Well, that's what you do, isn't
minutes.
it? That's what you do. Keep it for 10 or 15 minutes. Keep on top of it. Let's get in. We might nick another one, but obviously no one took any notice.
Yeah. In one ear and out the other.
Well,
And
yeah, it's not as though they
they
created something wonderful, was it? It wasn't a masterpiece of a goal. It was just simple, 2 or 3 passes. It's in the net. It wasn't nothing clever. That was the thing, and it was just caught cold, as they say. And I'm sure Pep was absolutely seething because of that, like we all were.
Yeah, definitely. Next up then is John Stones. His stats looks like this: 4 clearances, 2 tackles, 3 out of 3 ground duels were won, 2 out of 3 aerial duels were won. 6 times he lost possession. He was fouled once. 87 touches, 93% accurate passes, 10 out of 12 accurate long balls as well. Thoughts on Stones' performance, Bernard?
Well, I mean, any defense is gonna, to cut sort of, all right, we'll let 2 goals in. He's probably partly at fault for the Marnie one in theory by not linking up with Walker or a missile, not quite being at it. But as I said, the old team was caught a little bit cold anyway, so I'm not going to blame John Stones. I thought he played very well. Let's face it, against probably one of the best attacking threes in Europe, if not the world at the moment. And I say, I think it wasn't just because they didn't attack much. I thought we controlled it very, very well, and John Stones was central to that. So, but I thought he had a very good game.
Yeah, definitely. And next to Stones was, of course, Emerick Laporte. His stats look like this: 1 clearance, 1 interception, 2 tackles, 2 last man tackles, 2 out of 3 ground duels were won, 1 out of 2 aerial duels were won. 9 times he lost possession, 1 offside, 103 touches, 92% accurate passes, 3 out of 6 accurate long balls as well. Thoughts on Laporte's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, I thought that one where Jota, where he sort of that last ditch tackle in the box. I thought if Jota had dived, I thought he might have been given a penalty there because he's wrapped his sort of leg around it to get the ball. So for me, if the ref would give it, I don't think VAR would have probably overturned it. But all credit to the Liverpool player, he didn't make anything of it. And obviously he did get the ball, but because it looked to me as though he wrapped his foot around it a little bit. But it was an amazing tackle from where we were in the south stand. It looked really good. And obviously once the referee did point to the spot, we were quite happy that he'd done a good tackle. So yeah, that's all we can say. Again, like Stones, I thought he was excellent. One of his better games. I don't remember. He's always got a mistake in him, but I don't particularly remember him making too many against Liverpool. But yeah, very solid. Good partnership overall, him and Stones.
Yeah. He tweeted after the game, intense game today where we probably could have earned a bit more than a point, but still a good result against the top team. Let the final race begin. Next up then is João Cancelo. His stats looked like this. He got the assist for Gabriel Jesus' goal. 1 clearance, 1 interception, 3 tackles. It was dribbled past once, 6 out of 12 ground duels were won. 1 out of 2 aerial duels were won. 24 times he lost possession. He was fouled once, 80 touches, 73% accurate passes, 2 key passes, 1 out of 4 accurate crosses, 4 out of 10 accurate long balls, 1 big chance created, 1 shot blocked. It was 2 out of 6 successful dribble attempts, and he hit the woodwork once as well. Thoughts on Cancelo's performance, Bernard?
I thought he played very well. I thought defensively he was excellent. Obviously, he had to put up with Salah a lot, didn't he? Which is no mean feat. I think he got pretty torn apart at Anfield at times by him, so he's obviously picked up from there. I thought he played very well, and it's nice to see him play well defensively as well. I mean, I'm usually a bit critical of Cancelo going forward, but that was a great ball for Jesus to open the score to put us back in the lead. No, I thought Cancelo was again one of his best games I've seen him play from a constructive and productive up front and a defensive point of view. Very good.
Yep. Next up is Rodri. His stats looks like this. 84 touches, 86% accurate passes, 4 out of 7 accurate long balls, 1 shot blocked, 1 out of 2 ground duels were won, 1 out of 3 aerial duels were won, 12 times he lost possession, 1 foul, 2 clearances, 1 interception, and 1 tackle. Thoughts on Rodri's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, I don't think it was impressive as some of the others. I think some of it passed him by when Liverpool were having a go. I think but he did again. I'm not going to have a downer on him. He did okay. He just say he's playing against a bit, sort of different players there with Liverpool standards. So no, I won't have a go at him. I thought he played quite well. And as I say, he missed out a little bit at times, but no, he's not Ferner, is he? He never will be. So yeah, he had an okay game.
Yeah. Next up is Kevin De Bruyne. His stats looks like this. He scored the first goal, 45 touches, 80% accurate passes, 2 key passes, none out of 5 accurate crosses, 4 out of 6 accurate long balls, 1 shot on target, 1 shot off target, 1 out of 2 successful dribble attempts, 4 out of 7 ground duels were won, 14 times he lost possession, 2 fouls, he was fouled twice, 1 offside, 1 tackle as well. Thoughts on De Bruyne's performance, Bernard?
Excellent again. He just seems to be getting better and better. I think we've said recently if he gets injured, we're in trouble because he's reaching a sort of peak at the moment. All right, it's not everything comes off, but as I say, sometimes when he picked that ball up in midfield and started running forward, I've said it before, it just looks like Yaya to me. What Yaya used to be able to do, shrugging off defenders, and he just takes the ball with him and usually finds someone with a pass. And he could have easily had certainly Jesus should have set him up for a goal in the second half as well. So could have easily had a couple of goals. And the goal was deflection, but you've got to get the shot in the first place, haven't you? As long as you're shooting, which he will do, that's what could happen. It might get blocked and fall to a player like it did against United, where we had shots getting blocked and they fell to City players. So as long as he's shooting and it gets a deflection and goes in, so what? He thoroughly deserved it. And he had I think, again, for me, possibly, one of the best players on the day again.
Yeah. Big up Jordan and Mike, both in the chat as well. A stat on De Bruyne. He's now scored 6 goals in his last 6 appearances for City, netting him 4 in a row across all competitions for the first time for the club. He tweeted after the game, "Proud of my team," and some quotes from him. He said, "We deserve to win." He also said, "We played excellent. We should have scored more, and it is what it is. I think we had the upper hand and we keep going. I think it was a great game and we created enough to win the game." He also said, "A lot of people said whoever wins today gets the Premier League title, but I don't think either team thinks that. The schedule is so hard for both to win all remaining games, but the way we played today is the way we need to keep playing." And he finally said, "Riyadh chose to chip the keeper. If it goes in, it's a wonder goal, but it didn't happen. We played very well and had the upper hand. We didn't win. It can happen, but that's the way we need to play going forward. What's your thoughts on some of those quotes, Bernard?
Well, you can't disagree with it, mate, can you? It's just he's leading on and off the pitch now. I mean, what he says, he knows how important things are, what an important time it is, and you've got to be positive as players at this stage of a season like this. It's you say, and certainly with with all these games coming thick and fast, and why not? And if Kevin De Bruyne is confident as well, I mean, it gives the whole team confidence, I think, so on and off the pitch. So that's what we want. I mean, we used to have that from perhaps Fern, or we used to have it from Vinny, didn't we? Company. I totally agree. You know, it's a very important time, and everyone has to be going in one direction and concentrating. So I mean, I'm glad he's coming out with the right sort of platitudes, if you like, which is what we want to hear.
Yeah, definitely. Next up then is Bernardo Silva. His stats looks like this. He got the assist for the first goal, 100 touches, 89% accurate passes, 2 key passes, none out of 1 accurate crosses, 4 out of 10 accurate long balls, 3 out of 6 successful dribble attempts, 9 out of 15 ground duels were won, 15 times he lost possession, 2 fouls. He was fouled once, 2 clearances, 5 tackles, and he was dribbled past twice as well. Thoughts on Bernardo's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, I think we said on another pod, he was like the double pivot, wasn't he? He was coming back, helping Rodri out at the edge of that box, picking up the ball and then using it. So he wasn't as effective going forward, apart from that assist, because obviously he was expected to do a lot of the donkey work as well. I think the aim of Pep was getting him to help Rodri out, as well as do his normal role. So I thought it was excellent. And Liverpool don't like playing him, and he loves playing Liverpool, doesn't he? And he just winds them up with his little run arounds and stuff like that just wind the Liverpool players up. So I thought he was excellent. And as I said, he did a job. He was told to do a certain job, which restricted him going forward, but it worked overall for the team.
Yeah. Chelsea fan says, I think Man City will win all the games and win the title. I'm not sure about that. What do you think?
I think we'll both drop points, in all fairness. We should be capable, but I don't think either team's going to go full unbeaten now between now and the end of the season. But if any team can, City can, but we've not quite accomplished that certainly since I think someone was saying since in the new year we've not really had a proper good winning run, have we? So yeah, we're capable of doing it, but I would say both teams are going to drop points at some stage.
Yeah. Next up then is Raheem Sterling. His stats looks like this. 1 shot on target, none out of 1 successful dribble attempts, 1 big chance miss, 17 touches, 67% accurate passes, 1 key pass, 1 out of 4 ground duels were won, none out of 1 aerial duels were won, 8 times he lost possession, 1 foul. He was fouled once, 2 offsides as well. Thoughts on Sterling's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, he's a bit of an enigma, isn't he? I mean, he could have been the hero, couldn't he? He was literally about that much away from being a hero with that VAR decision, which I can't actually decide. I mean, if you look at the Jesus one, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I mean, wasn't a lot of difference, was there, between where Jesus was to the defender and where Sterling was? It's literally centimetre or 2, and it's just ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, I thought they were giving the benefit to the striker this year and giving a bit more leeway, but obviously they've gone back to the to the trigonometry and the these little things to check the distances. It's just ridiculous. I thought if Jesus' goal was onside, Sterling's was, and if he'd scored that, it would have been the hero. But obviously, everyone remembers the one he missed after before KDB scored. Everyone remembers that. He's got to do better with that. It's a 1-on-1. goalie makes himself big, you've got to be clever enough to put it in somewhere, and a good striker would. And obviously Sterling, unfortunately, is a good player, but he misses too many of them. And yet we saw with that offside one, he can put it in the net. Alisson was, I think he nutmegged him, did he? I thought he seemed to go past or nutmeg him. I'm not really watched it back, but so all right, Alisson could have stuck a foot the right way and saved that one as well, but he didn't. So yeah, I thought he played very well. But I think Sterling now, he's not suddenly going to become master goal poacher, is he? But his pace certainly unsettled Liverpool. So I've always said with Sterling, as long as someone's up there with him, he can pass to, I'm happy with Sterling, because he can do things with his pace and get into spaces. So as long as he knows when to release that ball, which he doesn't always, obviously, but. It was certainly one of his better performances, but that doesn't say a lot this season, I don't think.
No, definitely not. Next up then is Phil Foden. His stats look like this. 43 touches, 84% accurate passes, 1 out of 4 accurate crosses, 2 out of 2 accurate long balls, 1 out of 3 successful dribble attempts, 2 out of 4 ground duels were won, 1 out of 1 aerial duels were won, 12 times he lost possession, 1 interception and 1 tackle. Thoughts on Foden's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, it wasn't anything outstanding, but I thought he played well. But I couldn't say to you he did such and such a thing. I just thought he played overall very, very well. I mean, I even had him as my man of the match initially, and then obviously I did think on about that and thought, and sort of I'd already put it out there. And then I looked at it in reflection and thought, well, yeah, but I couldn't say he did that well or the other thing well. I just thought he caused Liverpool all sorts of problems over the pitch, which I thought he would do because he likes playing Liverpool, he likes playing United. He likes playing these teams. As a fan, you would do. So, yeah, without saying yes, he did this and he did that, I thought he had a good game. As I say, I did change my opinion slightly from what I thought initially from being at the game and watching bits and bobs back. But yeah, I thought he was constant pain to Liverpool, and that's all that mattered, really.
Yeah. And finally, the final starter anyway, Gabriel Jesus. His stats looked like this. 83 minutes he was on the pitch. He scored the second goal, of course. 30 touches, 80% accurate passes. 1 key pass, none out of 1 accurate crosses, 2 out of 2 accurate long balls. 1 big chance created, 3 shots on target, 1 shot off target, 2 out of 3 successful dribble attempts, 6 out of 9 ground duels were won, 2 out of 3 aerial duels were won, 6 times he lost possession, 1 foul, he was fouled 3 times, 1 offside, 1 tackle, and he was dribbled past once as well. Thoughts on Jesus' performance, Bernard?
Yeah, I think he played well at Anfield, if I remember rightly, in the 2-2 there, and he played very well in this one. I say again, but we saw the good and the bad, didn't we? A well-taken goal, which we know he's capable of. He's produced some fantastic goals since he's been here, but he doesn't always make the right decision in the same way Sterling doesn't. I think it was the second half where KDB was furious with him when he hit the side netting. I mean, I saw his shot hit the side netting. I didn't realise how sort of he should have really found KDB, and I think Pep was a bit angry with him for that. So that if you're a striker and you're greedy, that's fair enough, but you've got to put it in the net. It's no good hitting the side netting with it when you've got other options. So, but fantastic goal, fantastic run, well timed. As I said, it was negligible to me if that was offside compared to Sterling's, but VAR said it was onside, so we have to go with that. So, but it's not like Jesus to be onside anyway, is it? But yeah, great goal, played very, very well, but you just did see a little bit of what we're missing in certain players as well, that little bit of now sometimes at crucial times, and he did lack that. And for a guy of his experience now, he should perhaps be a little bit better now, but he's not playing much, is he? So he's not getting much game time, so that probably comes into it as well. But overall, yes, I would say a good game.
He tweeted after the game, "Unfortunately, we didn't get this important win, but great game, everyone. Let's keep fighting." I was trying to speak, but I was on mute then. That was my
I
bad.
thought,
So we'll get going with the subs. First up, Riyad Mahrez's stats looks like this. 15 minutes he was on the pitch. 2 shots off target. One, he hit the woodwork once. 11 touches, 100% accurate passes. None out of 1 ground duels were won. None out of 1 aerial duels were won. He lost possession twice as well. Thoughts on Mahrez's performance, Bernard?
well, he's gone from being undroppable a few games ago to being a bit part player, hasn't he, in the space
Yeah.
of not very long. He could have been a hero, of course. I didn't think that free kick was ever going in. From where we were, it always looked as though it was going to either go wide or hit the post and go wide. We thought Alisson had saved it from our end. It was only when I watched it back, I realised it had hit the woodwork. But that one, and that one at the end as well, I mean, yeah, it took a little nick if you look at it very closely from the defender. Whether that was enough to send it to row Z, where it did end up at the end in the 94th minute, I'm not too sure. Perhaps it is. I'm not very good on trigonometry, whatever it is. It physics? I don't know what it is, but that slight deflection seemed to take it really high. Perhaps it would have gone in without that deflection. I don't know, but you're used to Mahrez bending it into a corner, right? You're not used to him chipping a goalkeeper. So he could have been the hero. As I said, he's become a bit part player, certainly in the last couple of weeks. He could have been the hero, but I say we were just a deflection or a post away, weren't we? But yeah, nothing brilliant. But as I said, he could have been the hero. But next time, perhaps.
Yeah. And the final sub, Jack Grealish, his stats looks like this. 7 touches, 67% accurate passes, none out of 1 successful dribble attempts, none out of 1 ground duels were won, none out of 1 aerial duels were won. He lost possession twice and 1 interception as well. Thoughts on Grealish's performance, Bernard?
Yeah, I just remember that one where he tried to dribble and lost it. I don't really remember much else, and that was a bit sad to watch. Really, he went on a run and lost it. So, yeah, you can't really, for the amount of time he was on the pitch, he can't really say too much. I think if he'd played the full game, as I say, it was him and Mahrez who were left out, who were in my team actually. But obviously, as I said, Pep went for pace rather than him and Mahrez. So I think we'd played the full game. We might have seen a better showing from him. But on reflection, I think Pep was quite right to have him on the subs bench along with Mahrez as it worked out.
Yeah. We'll talk about Pep then. Did he get it right?
Yeah, I think so. He can't score the goals, can he? And he can't stop him letting in a stupid goal within 50 seconds of the start of the second half, which is just concentration. It's just stuff footballers of their experience and should know. You shouldn't even need to be told. I mean, you probably did tell them, but you probably don't even need to be told that. I mean, it's at the start of the second half. I mean, people haven't even got back in the seats. You don't do anything stupid. You just that's why I was angry with Ederson, because he's the one who punted it up and shot it straight to Alisson, and obviously from his throw out or kick out, they ended up scoring a goal. So, Ederson was at fault, even though he wasn't at fault. He couldn't do anything about the goal. He was really at fault for losing possession. And one way of controlling the game is keeping possession. So if he's just going to well it up the pitch and Alisson to collect it, obviously he wasn't aiming for Alisson, but obviously it was just a poor punt, and we're not used to that off Ederson. So yeah, Pep got it totally right. It's just at the end of the day, the players on the pitch could have done better, and they didn't.
Yeah. Simple as that, really. Some Pep quotes then. He said, "It's a good advert for the Premier League. It was a fantastic game with both teams trying to win. Unfortunately, we didn't win. Liverpool are a joy to watch with all these threats they have up front. We performed very well, and I'm so proud of the team." He also said we performed incredibly well. Both teams know with 7 games left, we have to win them all. We're going to play for that. He also said, "I respect Klopp so much. He has made me a better manager. We are not friends. We don't lunch together. I have his number, but I don't call him. There is respect. He knows next Saturday we will try to beat him." He also says, "Gabriel Jesus deserves to play a lot because he's a fantastic person. Gundo, Dino, Alex today for the quality they have. We thought we could find space with these players. Maybe next Saturday we change for the way they pressed. He also said, one game dropped and we will not be Premier League champions. He also said, on De Bruyne, he has been at this level for many years. He struggled in his first part through injury of the season and needed time, but now he's strong and creative. He's not just a player to make assists, but now score goals. He also said on Webber, the 2 Liverpool matches in the Premier League this season were the best of his career. He said, no, I have a long list, my friend. He also said, I have to review the game, but I had the feeling it was a missed opportunity to beat them. I felt that we left them alive. He also said on Edison, this guy, he's crazy. This guy is crazy. In his post-match interview about Edison, he also said it was a fantastic game from both sides. Both teams tried to win every game in all competitions. I have the feeling we missed opportunities to beat them, a feeling that we left them alive. He also said, I think it was a good game for fans around the world. I'm so happy with how we played. Normally, when you do many good things, you can understand why the sadness would be there. I said, forget about it. We were ourselves. We performed incredibly well. And finally, he said, tomorrow I'll watch them. They'll pause the game and ask why they didn't pass. But in football, they move in the final third in the box is the most difficult position. The important thing is we created chances and we have to be confident for the final we have midweek. Next up then, Liverpool. How do you think they played, Bernard?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, a lot of people have been saying they've not been playing that great. I don't think they played that great. They didn't look a threat throughout the game, but they took the goals well, and I think we expected that. We know the with they seem to rely on their front three, whichever the front three is. And it usually works, and that's how they play the football. I didn't think they played particularly well. I don't think as a Liverpool fan I would have thought they really went for it. I don't think they really went for the victory. I think overall, even though it still leaves them a point behind, they just wanted to make sure they didn't get beat, and they were quite capable of, as I say, every time we took a lead, they equalised. And if we'd gone 3-2 up with that Sterling goal, it's 60-odd minutes or something. I mean, there's nothing to say Liverpool wouldn't have come back and equalised again. It's a totally different game, but they're okay. But I say I didn't see anything particularly that we don't know about them as far as the skills up front and the fact they can get in behind and they do things. And I thought our tactics worked pretty well against them, and we are the better. Based on that, we are the better team football wise. But I think Liverpool can play a lot better than they did.
Yeah, definitely. Next up then, the referee, Anthony Taylor. How do you think he did?
Yeah, the City fan, the Liverpool fans were saying, yeah, I mean, they were all upset, weren't they? As the guy said before, I can't remember who it came on and said, was it Doug? Thiago should have been off. He should have been off the pitch. All right, if he'd been booked early, he probably wouldn't have committed the fouls, but that's the whole idea of booking someone to stop them doing things. He did at least 3 tackles that were a bookable tackle, so he should have been sent off and had another booking as well. It's just ridiculous what he got away with, and that seems to be the problem. I think one of the other guys got away with one as well. I thought Anthony Taylor was too much for Liverpool. He made one decision for us, which was where it went out for a corner in the second half, and he gave us a goal kick. I don't remember that one, but it clearly went out for a corner. It was clearly deflected by a City player, but obviously, and that was thinking back, that was the only real decision he gave us all game that I can remember. I just thought he was absolute garbage, which he's not been that bad, I don't think, the last couple of times he's ref City, because obviously, on the basis that we've been moaning about him. But funnily enough, as soon as Liverpool fans whinge about him, he gives them things. So perhaps we should whinge a lot more than we do about referees and stuff. We might get something more then.
Yeah. Next up, the fans. How do you think they were on Sunday?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it was like Liverpool fans were okay once they got the goals back. I won't say they were loud, but it was like noise in the stadium. It wasn't particularly loud singing all the way through. I didn't join in many songs as such. Probably less than a normal game. It's just noise, just constant, the sort of constant hubbub, if you like. And I
Yeah,
thought the atmosphere was okay, but it wasn't perhaps as the animosity that it sometimes is against Liverpool. And I think the fact that it ended in a draw, I think it sort of cooled it down a little bit, in all fairness. But I thought the atmosphere was fine. I thought Liverpool fans tried to do their bit, which is more than they'd done a couple of times, I can think, previously in recent visits. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't. I think if City had gone 2 or 3 up, it would have been total manic. But obviously, the way it panned out, and still at the start of the second half, you let that equaliser in, it's bound to dampen enthusiasm a little bit. So yeah, it's one of those games that sort of, because of what happened on the pitch, it affected what happened in the stands. But it was okay, but it wasn't the best against Liverpool.
no, definitely not. Next up, we'll look at the Premier League table. So the gap remains the same, a point, with 7 games to play. How are you feeling for the rest of the season, Bernard?
Nervous, but I mean, we certainly it'd be interesting. That I think the next, if we're still level after the next, we're still 1 point clear after the next 2 games. I'll be not disappointed, but I'll be a bit more nervous because we've got Brighton and Watford, who we should be beating. That shouldn't be a problem. And Liverpool will get Everton United, which they should be beating, but they're a bit of a, you never know. You just never know with United. You never know with Everton. You never, all right, I think they'll stuff Everton. I think they'll stuff United, but there's always a chance. So we've got 2 good games, and then don't forget, once they're out, we've only got 5 games left. So if we can go into it, say 3 points clear or something like that, all right, they've got a better goal difference, so that doesn't help, does it? They're +5, aren't they, on the goals as well? They got 5 better goals than us. So yeah, I'll be a lot if we don't if we don't get 6 points out of our next 2 games, I'll be far more worried, put it that way. But at this point in time, I'm confident that the guys, we've got a bit of momentum now, which Liverpool have had. I think that result, the way Kevin's talking, the way the players are talking, I think we'll take that momentum now that we've sort of lacked a little bit since January. We've not really got going on a roll, and I think we can, hopefully, with the result, if we can get a result tonight as we're recording this in Madrid, that it's the momentum then take us through. I'm a bit worried about Wembley. Whether we're going to talk about that, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about Wembley because I think Pep's going to go weak. I think he's going to play a weakish team against Liverpool on Saturday. So I think we might, as we have done the last 2 seasons, be out of that. So that will ruin momentum. So that will cock things up a little bit. But yeah, we won't know till the day. We won't know till what happens. We can't foresee what's going to happen in Madrid. We can't foresee what Pep's going to do on Saturday based on what happens in Madrid. But as far as I'm concerned now, the 7 league games have to be top priority, and all has to be what Pep considers our best players, and shouldn't be resting anybody for any of those 7 games unless Liverpool cock up and we've got a little bit of breathing space.
Yeah. Next up, I'm going to ask for your man of the match. Who are you going to give it to?
Well, as I said, I give it Phil Foden, then I realised I don't know why. I'm just going to give it the whole team. I thought the team performance was excellent, one of our best of the season. I mean, we talk about games at Anfield, we controlled that for the first half and still played quite well the second half. Old Trafford, we pretty much controlled it all the time, but that's United, isn't it? So as far as a team performance, I thought this was up there as one of our best team performances of the season, even though we could have done a lot better. As far as scoring goals are concerned. So I'm not going to give it anyone in particular. I'm just going to say I thought it was a excellent team performance, and it could have been even better.
Yeah, definitely. And tonight, Atletico Madrid away, it's 1-0 on aggregate. How are you feeling for the game?
Well, I think I said I don't get et up too much about Champions League games. I will do when it comes kickoff time, but we've either got a Madrid derby as the semi-final, or we're playing Real Madrid. So it'll be interesting. Just be interesting to see Simeone. I looked a bit of his press conference yesterday. he's one of these guys. I think he plays what he thinks is the best way to play his team. Of course he does, but I think he could do a lot more with that team. I think he's an intelligent guy. I think he can do a lot better. And I don't think I'm hoping we do see the same Madrid tonight, but I'm thinking we might not. I think we might see a different version tonight because they can do better than what they did against us at the Etihad. All right, they got stuffed on. Well, they didn't get stuffed. They lost 1-0 against the 17th place team at weekend, so that wasn't great. But is that because they had one mind on this match? I don't know. Perhaps all their players are going to be really up for this tonight. We know they know if things aren't going well, they're going to do all the usual shithousery stuff, all the time wasting, all the feigning injury, all the winding up job. We know they're going to do that. It'd be interesting to see what team Pep plays, whether he plays Grealish to help to sort of wind them up as well, which I think Grealish would. But 1-0 up. If we can get the first goal, I think it's pretty much over. But if they come out of the traps and they have a go, who's to say they won't get an equaliser early, and then it's a different ball game. I think we will have to be very, very good then to go through in this, and he'll be happy with extra time and penalties. They're not bothered. If they win 1-0, they'll be quite happy with that. Would you be happy with getting to penalties? I know I wouldn't. That's for sure. Not with our lot on the pitch, but we should be able to control it. But as I said, I just think there's a little bit of me thinks they're going to be a little bit different to last week. They're at home anyway, which they're bound to be a little bit different. And I think it'll be a tough game, but if they get the early goal, it could be a nightmare. But if we get it, then it's pretty much all over.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that is it for today's show. Just before we wrap it up, where can we find you, mate?
Yeah, you go on Twitter and follow me at bird_Deneen, or put Bird_Deneen in any search engines. You find all my YouTube stuff on City. All the various pods, including Charlie's here, and obviously I do a little film and TV thing as well. So if you're interested in films and TV, I've just been watching the latest Marvel series on Disney Plus. So anything like that, you want to have my views, you can catch me on there. So follow me on at Bird_Deneen on Twitter, and you can get all my links on there. Thanks very much.
Yeah, cheers for coming on, mate.
No
you can find me here, of course, Dugout Daily on YouTube. Hit the Apex on YouTube as well. Dugout Daily, the football channel. Hit the Apex, the F1 channel. And at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. So that is it for today's show. Everybody, take care, and we will see you all soon back here on Dugout Daily. Goodbye for now, everyone.